key component on this. What the scary part of this was seeing artists that are recording tracks that they wrote 30 years ago.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And imagine nobody backed them then, bro.
It's a very painful observation, and when I listened in the studio a few days ago of the recording when they revisited, I could see the expression on some of those people's face. They were almost in tears. They were struggling to express it. So they were actually asking themselves, "We did it? We did it?"
Yeah, man.
And look at the musicians we're working with. I can't believe I'm working with. They're almost saying I'm working with top-end musicians.
Yeah.
And this is not just one. This is a mixed race group of very highly incompetent. And most of the musicians who they're playing with are trained musicians.
Affinity Extra. Be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Extra.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, it's your boy here, watching more here on Affinity Extra, Celebrity Gospel Music, Black Origin. I'm here to talk the talk and not only just talk, but to have action. And anybody who knows Roger talks. Yeah, the guys in the studio love me for talking, and I don't love me for talking. Some of them don't like me for talking, actually. But it's so go. But listen. One thing I want to talk about is a project that I am working on. One of the major things, we talk about history on the station. I'm alongside Kevin Tomlin. We talk about noting history. We've been doing a lot of things about American history because there's a lot of successful black music models in America. So part of the application of having this knowledge is for me looking at how we could do that in the Midlands and why the Midlands in terms of looking back at the history and building myself up within the Midlands perspective. So everybody going, all you care about is non-Christian artists in America. You don't care about our people. No, totally opposite. I'm learning from the models. At the same time, myself, under the mentorship of Kevin, 2 years ago, what did the Kevin who probably went about, and I probably just had somebody who liked watching History Channel, and how did I apply that to the music world? What questions do I ask? How do I approach this? Under a lot of questions and understanding with Kevin, and even you guys have seen the journey that I've had. Understanding the impact and the power that what we've brought to the table from a UK music perspective has been amazing. So what I've done in the background is worked on this project. The project that you're either watching on already when this video is being released. It should be started. A project you know me for GR Live. You know me for GR Live, which is the urban gospel event. Everybody knows me as this urban, I dare use that word urban, but hip hop and R&B, bringing over Lisa McClendon, Mali Music, Lecrae, The Truth, Sean C. Johnson, being involved with these type of artists coming over. I've also worked in the background with the likes of Dawkins, backstage and different, gospel gangsters when they came over. So I've been around a lot of American artists backstage. And now at the stage now, I am not walking away from that. Yeah. I am actually wanting to bring that experience and see if we can stand up here in the UK and raise our standard, raise our levels in the UK. But I had to look at my hometown, Birmingham, and why is it so quiet? So before I would chop my mouth and say, yo, them man guys when I grew up watching were glorified karaoke, great singers and whatever. But I never realized that they wrote their own songs. So there's a part that I've been backed, been working alongside reaching out to organizations to support us to do this over the past couple of years. And I've been having interviewing people from the past. We've done over 60 interviews, which we're going to bring out as a documentary. You want to be doing more of that in the future. If you're not on that, it's either you didn't answer the call or you didn't get back to me, or the fact is that basically we was only meant to do 20, Kevin. Yes. I mean? We're only meant to be 20, but it ended up being a list of over 100 people, right. But I could not do because the efforts and strength of that.
Yeah.
And looking at some of the things that pulled out to me, Kevin, you cannot exclude environments from history.
No,
you know,
you can't.
The environments of the struggle of the 50s and the 60s and the 70s of our people settling the country where people weren't used to black people. You know what I mean? And also one thing that did come out, we're doing a lot of interviews, was and I have to use this word and I have to give credit to Joe Aldred. I did the interview with Joe Aldred. He said it was almost, if not, it was sectarian in its delivery of the divisions between our churches. What they did to us as a Caribbean people coming over to the country. We came over in the same boat, but we divided by doctrines, and doctrines of man, not of God, of man. Yeah, men that never even lived in this country. A lot of our doctrines derived of men who lived in southern states that defined black people as lesser than. It was an opportunity and it's a franchise. You might not like me for saying that, but seeing the hurt from it. So I worked with I looked at some things like, you know, the hurt. A lot of church hurt was coming through. You know what I mean, bro? Yeah, from that through this documentary. But the thing is, it has to be done because there's been some great exploits by people in the Birmingham area, and wider West Midlands and whatever alone. That's been incredible. They've worked with the lights. A lot of the artists that you see today, they were mentored by these people and they're not talking their story. And I think that we need to do it while they're there. And the best way to find out about somebody's life is for them to tell them their story themselves before they go. And too often their story's being told afterwards, Kevin.
And you don't get the full essence of it. I mean, when I listen to, say, what Alfred told me about, say, Fricks McIntyre, and we all saying, wouldn't it be nice if we could have actually interviewed Fricks? But what I discovered that Fricks doesn't want to go back in certain things because probably the pain of it.
Yeah.
He didn't want to really go and rehash.
Yeah.
You know, and so on. Which sometimes you have to go back into it to actually help yourself through, but not at the same time to tell the truth, let people see where you come from and your impact. Because we know it from the evidence of what we've seen in terms of the sonic recordings.
Yeah. And that's Fitz McIntyre was a musician who played for was it Highgate or
he played for Highgate Choir.
Highgate. Did he play for? No, he didn't do Majestics. It was Highgate Choir. He played for Highgate Choir that was based in the Midlands, and he played for them. And then he ended up being one of the founding members, and one of the key components to the sound of Simply Red.
That's correct.
And that's a guy that was born and bred in Birmingham and played with one of the top bands in the in that time called Shiloh Band. That was a composition about Broke the Rules, which was prophecy and New Testament people working together. And in the documentary we had a lot of talks about that band and how it changed people's lives, and how it inspired people as well, with the likes of Trevor Prince and all these guys, Clifford Martin, Junior Martin. If I'm saying some buzzwords today, they all worked.
Ronnie Lysite.
Tony
Bean and Elliot Brown, and the list goes on. They're all around. Some of them are still all over the place, but they're still around. And
they made a massive input into the sound, and they supported people who were even further into the sound. Now, there's a lot of people that I know I haven't even interviewed yet, and I'm waiting for them interviews. Some people that I really wanted to interview, but they haven't. Sometimes I think as well. One thing I realized, bro, is a lot of people have said they're going to do stuff and haven't done it. Yeah. So people are just tired of that talk. You know what I mean? In that Caribbean community.
Yes.
So, do pray for us, because I have worked with Ray Prince a lot, as you know, within a project who's helped me have a bit more of insight into the area. A lot of people know me for supporting the well in terms of his productions and stuff back when I was a kid, coming through and mentor. I would definitely say I learned a lot with working with Beresford so that has been a major part to where I am today, and it's understanding that I'm going forward on it. But one thing I realized when doing this documentary, there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of missed opportunities. We never worked together. You know what I'm saying? And this will come out in the documentaries, guys, but just keep an eye out for Recounted. But the thing is, doing the documentary, I clearly realized that people never released their music. And we wrote a lot of music. Now, I piloted a project which is due to come out, or has come out, where it's part of the Recounted thing, which could be called, hopefully could be called Recounted Live, and that's going to be EP of productions which Kevin's been open to, which it was headed by the band GRP band, and we're going to have a couple artists on there. But the key component on this, what the scary part of this was seeing artists that are recording tracks that they wrote 30 years ago.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And imagine nobody backed them, bro.
It's a very painful observation, and when I listened in the studio a few days ago of the recording when they revisited, I could see the expression on some of those people's face. They were almost in tears. They were struggling to express it. So they were actually asking themselves, "We did it? We did it?"
Yeah, man.
And look at the musicians we're working with. I can't believe I'm working with. They're almost saying I'm working with top end musicians.
Yeah.
And this is not just one. This is a mixed race group of very highly incompetent. And most of the musicians who they're playing with are trained musicians.
Yeah.
They went to college. They went to uni.
Yeah.
They understand musical theory.
Yeah.
They understand how to take care of the sound and the space between the sound. They understand the synergy that was necessary to actually pull this off. They respect, and they had a deep spiritual understanding what they needed to do, and they did it extraordinary.
Yeah.
And and you had the synergy of the percussionist with the drummer and the keyboardist and the rhythm guitarist and the pianist working together. It was angelical.
Yeah.
It was brilliant and totally a stroke of mastery, a stroke of genius, basically, what they pull off.
It's crazy, man, because I'm working with projects, and the joke is one group, I'm working with, one of the members used to be my babysitter, you know what I mean? Go from a babysitter to somebody else in another group who used to kick me around on the football pitch when I was a kid, as a teenager. You know, these guys were just like, it's just to push me off, man. I'll be like, nah, you're not pushing me off, man. I'm going to fight. You know what I'm saying? So those too big to play against me.
Yes.
But they're all like, what? And it's just, it's a crazy experience, but it's important, and I realized looking in people's eyes, that this needed to happen, and when it comes out, and it's not about, guys, as much as it's frustrated for me to see projects like, and I'll be honest with you, too many London-centric projects, but in Birmingham we do moan, but we don't do. So we need to shut up and do it and work together, on there, and there's gonna be more future projects. This is not gonna be just a one-off. There's gonna be future things to come. But of one thing we have missed, and something that I've learned from working with Kevin, is power brokers.
Yes,
and
very important.
And I have to get over the fact that basically, I'm not saying my humanity, but the reality show is that if I got the gifting of it, of my knowledge of music, I might not be the best bass player, but could you bring my project management skills to the table to project manage this? And I think this is that we do. We play a little instrument, but our project management skills get used outside, the kingdom, which is fine. But everything seems to be to do with everybody else's kingdoms, whether it's financially, whether it's economic, whether it's business wise, whether it's socially, we're in different areas, whether it's health in the NHS, but we don't have anything when it comes to Christian music. So our professionals in business and project management go elsewhere and make a book for themselves, and do a good thing. But have we really made a book? Now we have a generation that does not know who we are.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
because we haven't invested in who we are, and I believe that's an Afro-Caribbean disease. Because thanks to slavery, we refuse to document and leave legacy. You know what I'm saying? That's something that really came apparent to me, which America's, and me and Kevin come to a conclusion, bro. When we're talking to each other, we stop making this excuse that America has been out there a long time. They've gone through migrations themselves within America. America's a new country. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
America, if you look at the blacks that live in the, should I say, quote unquote, the Royal Kingdom or the British Empire, they've been involved in the UK much longer than the establishment of the United States. And the same thing in France, the same thing in Belgium, the same thing in Portugal and so on. The Moors used to be rulers of Spain long before the American became an independent state. So
the Portuguese prince, I think it's Congolese prince, was functioning normal in Portugal.
Yes, they had their own kingdom.
So before really they took slavery to another level, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because slavery was going on before. As he was going there. But we had to show is before it got to industrial level, the shackle slavery, they call it shackle slavery. We were functioning in Europe. So Europe is used to seeing black people in royalty.
Of course, it was as a normality and the nobility. I mean, when you see the Queen bowing down to El Selassie, she's accustomed to that. She understands royalty. They all know royalty when they come into the presence of royalty. It's not a no, the Queen is used to understand what it is to bow down. She bowed down to Selassie and his princess. She's understand that. It's not a new. We need to understand this, that when it comes to Britain and actually music, Britain has an established music tradition that goes more longer than the States, really, in most respect, in terms of the music industry and all the development of it. However, it's just because America's size, and which is a bigger landmass in terms of population. But we still have to understand that Britain has in terms of history, untold history, and what is in archives in the British Library and so on, blacks has been involved in a lot of things significantly.
We're here to highlight it, guys. You know what I mean, 100%. And another element which you would see probably all even right at the release of this video is going to be recounted, where we looked at some of our hymnals, the songs that we grew up on. You know what I'm saying? And we let the young people express themselves and do some remixes, which will hopefully be on Infinity Extra. Hopefully the DJs will play it. I'll play it anyway. I got no choice, man. I got to play it, man. But listen, we officially released as well. One thing I would say as well, he just to end this note, and this is just like almost a prelude conversation to prick it ahead in terms of on the station. I am one of the key moaners, you would say, or people that the key person who highlights situations that we need to be dealt with, but at the same time, in the background, I'm very serious in making changes, but not only from just making changes sake. We need to be economically sound and economically real, and we need to grow industry. A lot of our practitioners outside and inside Christian music and in secular music, black musicians and singers and songwriters have not got their full value of what they inputted into the industry out. And some of this part is what I'm doing, and Kevin's doing with the GMIA, is educating our people how to make the most of your gift and talent. And we can do that in Christ, and that's one of the main things we're doing here. An amazing partnership that I'm having with GRP. It's great and this is all part of models that we see in America, where you have a key band that you work with, and they help deliver it, and they're honest with you to say, no, don't use me, use this guy instead as well. So they're one of my key things that I'm working out with. But guys, my encouragement is that we do have a beautiful sound in the UK. We have made a massive input. That's to come out, and you're gonna watch out. There's gonna be a lot of talk with this situation, this project that I'm doing now with Recounted. Do look at JL360 Media on Instagram. But you'll hear a lot of the music, because I'm sure the guys will play some of the music on the station. The better, you got no choice, man. But now I'll still have to. I'm still subject to Nadlock. She'll play what she sees fit to play, yeah. But I'm sure DJs are me will be playing that stuff. But it's just the importance of, you know, celebrating our people, our producers. I know we play a lot of American stuff. I know myself, I play a lot of American stuff. But we have to change the narrative, and we need to produce quality music, produce music that connects. And I still feel that we need to beat us in the Christian music realm. Stop faking the funk and being something that seems to creating popular music. Because creating popular music, you end up selling yourself. People real recognizes real. Be you. Yes, there's a sound that influences you, but be you. That's my encouragement. Yes. Yeah, and 100%, man. But listen, this is me alongside Kevin Tomlin. We just had a quick chat about, you know, UK heritage, UK history. Always have one eye back. To have one eye forward, so you can dodge the problem, the things that you tripped over in the past. So too often in the UK industry, our eyes are forward, and we keep knocking our head on the same lampposts every single time, because we're not learning from what happened in the past. But we're here to record and document the past now.
Look back to go forward. Look back.
Come on.
You know, the Bible talks about the people perish because of lack of knowledge. Oh, lack of knowledge is what has happened in the past.
Yeah.
And you build on that.
Yeah.
And if you know your part, remember what, before they went into Canaan, the Lord was saying, remember from whence you came from.
Yep, simple thing.
Remember,
100%, man.
Remember.
We as Christians, we always say, "Oh, ignore history," especially when it comes to black people. But the reality show is that our Bible is a historical book. So,
yes. And it talks about us.
Yeah, it talks about us as a people and always business. So reality shows, guys. You know, if every day we focus on a historical book, we can. That doesn't mean you ignore history. You're just trying to have selective memory. That's not what we do here. Yeah. Listen, this is Roger here on Infinity Xtra alongside Kevin Tomlin, celebrating gospel music of black origin. Nothing but love. But check out the Recounted project and watch out. There's gonna be some more stuff coming.
Amen.
Hey, this is your Bishop. This is your Bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta, and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.